Hey everybody, welcome back to the Print 3D channel. Today is May 4th, and that means day 124 of the 3DP 365 project. And on today's episode, to help celebrate Star Wars Day, we printed out this low poly Darth Vader, so stick around. Hey everybody, welcome back, and thank you for joining me here for day 124 of the 3DP 365 project. If you're unfamiliar with the project, check out the description below. I put a facts section down at the bottom that'll give you all the details. And don't forget to use that MatterHackers affiliate link down in the description. If you're in the market for a new printer parts, or if you just need some filament, use that MatterHackers affiliate link. It kicks a little bit back to the channel. It doesn't cost you a penny, and we really appreciate it. But on today's episode, we're celebrating Star Wars Day, and we printed out the low poly Darth Vader. And before we talk about this print, let's head over to Thingiverse and I'll show you where to download this model. Then we'll tab over to Simplify 3D and I'll show you my settings for the print. Then we'll meet back here at the workbench and we'll talk about the print. Okay folks, so here we are at Thingiverse. Here is low poly Darth Vader by Flowalistik, and I'll put the link down in the description so you can download and print this one yourself. And as you can see, it's been made quite a few times. It's in a lot of collection. And there's even some remixes because the head is a separate file, so that gives people the opportunity to attach it to all kinds of strange different models up on here on Thingiverse. But we already printed ours, and we did have an issue with our model. So let's tab over to Simplify 3D and I'll show you what I had to do to get this to print. Alright, so here we are in Simplify 3D, and I've dropped the three pieces down on the print bed, and I've enlarged them to 200% scale to match the other parts that we have already printed in the low poly mode. And I did have a problem with this model, but let me show you my process settings first. Under layer height, we did a 0.2mm layer height with 3 top layers, 3 bottom layers, and 3 perimeters. We also ran a skirt at 10mm from the object at only 3 outlines. For infill, we only used 10% for this model, and we did not generate any support material. For temperature, this is MatterHackers PRO PLA, so I use a single temperature throughout, and that's 207. And I have my 3-stage cooling system set up. Under speed, we ran this out at 45mm per second, and those are all my basic settings I use for every model I print. So if I hit OK, and if I hit Prepare to Print, I'll show you the little problem I found with the body model here from Flowalistik. And this is just something that just needs to be repaired. And I tried to repair it, but let me show you what the problem is first. If I twirl this down, you can see that there's some big holes here. And what these are is the geometry for the hands is actually inside the body. And I've tried the different tools and repair tools that Simplify 3D has, and it didn't identify this problem and fix it, so that didn't work. So what I did was I ran it through Netfab Basic and the free downloadable version, and that didn't change the model whatsoever. So what I did is I brought it over to Make Printable's free STL file website, and I'll show you that real quick here. Alright, so here we are at Make Printable's website, and I've already uploaded and fixed the model, and over here on the left is the original model as it appeared from Flowalistik, and here is the model as it's repaired. And as you can see right away, there are some weird tessellation errors, weird geometry going on. But I really wanted to print this, and it fixed the hand issue, so I was like, let's just print it. So if we tab back over to Simplify 3D, I'll bring over the fixed model onto the print bed and I'll show you what happened. Alright, so we're back over here in Simplify 3D, and here's Flowalistik's original body part model. And if I delete this one, and I bring in the new one that we used on the Make Printable site to fix the hand issue, and we scale it up to 200%, and then we rotate this minus 90 degrees, so we space in the same way as the other one. We go to our overhead view, and we use our move tool to move him into position. And we go to our isometric view, use our select tool, and if we zoom in, you can see the geometry errors that the Make Printable site actually did to the model. And there was no reason for it to do anything up here. This was all fine. It was the hands that were in question. So if I hit Prepare to Print and we let this slice, which will take a second, and this will be real time, and if I dial this down to where the hands are, you can see it actually fixed the hands. But up here on the chest plate and a couple other spots, it actually created some weird tessellation is the only thing I can think of to call it with the geometry. And if I play this through a little bit, you can see that it kind of zigzagged and recreated some of that geometry up on the shoulder plates that it really didn't need to do. But either way, our print turned out pretty awesome, and I'm really happy with the results, and I'm not going to reprint it. But I definitely will leave a comment for Flowalistik that the hand part of these models does need to be repaired if he wants to have this print properly. Now, as you can see here, my skirt doesn't go all the way around. It doesn't, because this model, once it was fixed, also had some problems with the bottom of the feet. So I had to lower this down 0.4 millimeters into the print bed to get it to print flat. But like I said, either way, our print turned out pretty awesome and I'm happy with the results. So let's head over back to the workbench and let's talk about the print. Okay, so you saw my settings in Simplify 3D and the bit of hoop jumping that I had to go through to get good old Darth Vader here to print. But he looks really good and I'm really happy with the results. The problem I found, and I haven't glued them together yet, the problem I found is that the hands, when they connected to the body, the geometry went inside of the geometry of the legs. So when Simplify 3D got to that point in the slicing operation, it got confused and it made a mess of it. So what I did is I dropped it into NetFab Free, the downloadable version of NetFab, and it didn't do anything. It said there was no problems with the file whatsoever. So I went over to Make Printable, which gives you the option to do 3 free file fixes in their free membership. And I uploaded the file and I ran it through their file fixer, and it caused a little bit of weird, I guess, like I said, the only thing I could call it is polygon tessellation. And it created some weird geometry within the model. But the hands joined the body and those were good to go. And I really wanted to print Darth Vader, so we went ahead and printed it as is. Now the head is fine. There's no problems with the head. I didn't have to run that through NetFab or Make Printable. And that guy turned out perfect. I think that looks awesome. And of course the little pin, that turned out fine. But the body itself, it's got a few little geometry errors. But the print itself looks really, really good. And I'm really happy with the way this looks. I really love this MatterHackers PRO PLA in the dark green. I think this was the perfect choice for our Dark Lord of the Sith. And if you just slide the little pin into the neck hole and drop his little head on there, you can see everything fits together perfectly. So all we have to do is glue it and this is done. So all in all, I'd say this is a really successful print. My gMax did a stellar job of picking up the detail on this low polygon model, and I'm really happy with the results. And he can join the rest of the cast and crew of the low polygon models from Flowalistik for Star Wars Day. Well, that about wraps it up for day 124 of the 3DP 365 project. I hope you guys found this episode interesting and informative. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, comment, like, and share those videos, and I'll see you tomorrow. Even though we had some problems with Darth Vader, I think it turned out really, really cool. And I just want to say to everybody, may the 4th be with you and happy Star Wars Day.